Hello, it's New Year's Day here in LA, and I am trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. Um, Trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. Been waking up and being like, what the fuck am I doing? Feel like the music I'm making right now isn't the best music I can make. I feel like it's coming from a place that isn't the optimal place for me, you know? And I'm having a hard time finishing it. And the decisions I'm making on it aren't great, I don't think, musically. And just art-wise, I just don't think it's that great. And anyway, I'm trying to figure out in my head what the right decision is. All I know is that I have a lot of stuff going on right now. I have a lot of hands in different pots. I have my band. I have this hip hop project thing that is like 20 minutes long. I have another project that seems to be more B-sides, and I have a Skin, and I have another project that is like a part 2 of Skin. And none of those projects are doing it right now. They're not doing the same thing that the other project did. There's not a switch where I feel like I am like immersed in it, you know? And immersed in the reason why I'm doing the project. And, you know, and the just getting to the end of the project to figure out what's like in the well of the project. So I've never been here before. Maybe this is what they call a sophomore slump. But I'm trying to tread the waters and see how to make the right decision. You know, is the right decision scrapping the project and moving on to another project? Maybe not scrapping it, but just moving on and see if it catches on later. Is the right decision to go ahead and do these grand experiments that I've been thinking of, like recording a pipe organ? I have a feeling that that is what I need to be doing in reality. These grand experiments. The thing is that I am still scared to commit to those uncertain things that are very grand, like going to record a pipe organ, because you don't know how it's going to go. It could go horribly wrong. You can go and you can be really ready and you can prepare, and then something goes horribly bad. But I think those are the positions you have to put yourself in order to grow. In the last project, I went to record strings, and it was the hottest day fucking ever. The string players weren't the most in tune, and I had some real trouble getting something usable in it. And at the last second, we moved downstairs to the garage, and I decided to tell each of them to play 2 chords that were in very close positioning to each other, so it'd be very hard for the intonation to be off. And I didn't tell them that, but I was just, in my mind. And then I let the violin player, who was a professional violin player, really play on top of everybody. Just really, really play. And I learned that, number one, you need string players who are professionals if you're going to record strings. You can't have college players. Number two, I learned it's fucking expensive. It costs like $1,000 to do that. That was like the big experiment that I made. And I gotta remember what I learned from that is that all that preparation that I put into doing that project and that experiment paid off because I got there and I was so prepared and I was so dialed in that it allowed me to shift and it allowed me to do something else on the fly because I had the confidence because I knew I was so prepared for that moment. And I think those grand experiments are what make me tick. Because on the project that I'm working on, it's just on my computer. I'm essentially making rap music, like very blown out trap music, and it can be very cool, and it's very punk in its way, and it has a thing to it that I like, but it doesn't have the depth that my other music has. Where I feel like I can listen back and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is me. This is an Austin project. And I think it comes down to that, just like these grand experiments that I have, and there's something to do with like the comfort zone of it and not really knowing, but also preparing and like stepping into it. That is really gratifying when I'm done. When I get those recordings, I'm like, woof, okay. And then I have a base for a project, Last project, it was all those piano recordings. This project, it's gotta be a pipe organ. It's gotta be a pipe organ. It has to. So, who knows? Maybe it's not. But that's how I feel. I feel like I gotta get this thing going on. And one of the things that really stops me is just money. My speakers are like so small. I'll show you a video, and it shouldn't keep me from making music I want to make, but I'm kind of letting that limitation like get in my head because there's no bass in these speakers, and the speakers that I would want would be a little more detailed as well. it'd probably be $600-$700. And I guess I have these thoughts like, these experiments cost a lot of fucking money, and it may just bring me back because I don't have the money. So I was thinking, like, maybe I'd get the speakers first and then do the experimentation. And then I could release these tracks that I already have. Because finishing stuff is really important. Super important. But yeah, I mean, finishing these tracks is like, it's fucking hard. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. It's fucking hard. I'm not in love with these tracks. And I'm trying to find a way for that spark to go off where I'm like, okay, these things are good. Because right now it feels like it's aiming at this idea of self-sabotage. I want a Trapaholics guy on it, just to fucking be a Trapaholics guy and to be like my internal thoughts. But that's, again, a lot of money, so it's like $300, so I have to prepare for that, you know, and I have to make sure it's right, as good as possible, and then as well, afterwards I gotta get it mastered. So there's just a lot of payments to be made, and a lot of money to be made, and a lot of credit card to be paid off, and yeah, it's a little stressful, but that's why we're here, baby. We're here to step into it and just fucking do it, and just do it. And these vlogs really help me get my thoughts out there, to take the next steps and, you know, step closer to my goal. And I think what I've realized about this project a little bit, is that sometimes I feel like you have to take a step in a different direction in order to take that next step. And to kind of know, like, okay, this is not creating exactly, this isn't, you know, what works for you, you know, and those experiments are important. It's what got you to where you are today and stuff like that. But anyways, I just realized that the more grand experiments are like, that is it, you know, grand experiments, grand recordings. And, you know, if you find the source and it sounds really convincing of the space I'm trying to create, then everything else kind of falls in place. Because then I can really work out the texture, and the sound of it, and the record, and the catharsis. Because the part of the catharsis of the music I make is the space that I create. And in the last record, that was created with drones, that was created with that piano, and it was created with those strings as well, and the ambiences that I recorded. So this has to be a record that it doesn't have to be the record, from what I've seen or what I've gathered, is that the grand experiments that I make are the best versions of myself. it's just something about how grand and uncertain it is that creates more of me. And recording, recording these things in the best way I can with the most intention. So, anyway, this is a vlog. I'm going to put it up unlisted, and I'm going to start putting these vlogs up just to figure out what the hell is going on, and maybe one day I'll release them and say that, these are the vlogs that got me here. Here are this many vlogs, I really hope that day comes. I really do. Because I'm getting stressed out a bit. I'm getting stressed out. I'm getting older. And it's stressing me out. Because I want to have a family. And I want to be financially independent. And financially secure. And the problem is that survival and art don't go together. They don't. So, it's a push to make more music. It's a push to really get out of your comfort zone. But when it's time to make music, it can't be about that, For me. For some people it can, but for me, it can't really be about that. Okay. I love you, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.